what you guys provide and where you see. Yeah, you want a podium? You want? I'll get you a podium. Yeah. So let's welcome up Meredith Berkson from PATH, which is People Assisting the Homeless.
Hi, thank you for that great introduction. So my name is Meredith Berkson, and I'm the Director of South County and Coordinated Entry Programs for PATH, People Assisting the Homeless. We're a statewide agency, and our primary goal is to help people experiencing homelessness move into permanent homes, and then to provide the wraparound services necessary to keep them in homes, because that retention piece is really critical. So we're based out of Los Angeles. We also have programs in San Diego, San Jose, Santa Barbara, and so we are really expanding. And I'm here to talk about solutions to homelessness and some of the great work that we're doing in Whittier and throughout the gateway cities. But I want to start just by giving a picture of the scope of the problem. So I know the homeless count has come up a couple times. I just want to give you all a sense of what we're dealing with in Los Angeles County. So the point-in-time count, which goes out and we actually count people on the streets experiencing homelessness in shelters, in cars, in encampments, in the riverbeds, all throughout, happens 3 nights of the year, and I'm gonna pitch to you that you all should be a part of that at the end of my 5 minutes. But we found 44,000 people experiencing homelessness in Los Angeles County. 44,000. In Southeast Los Angeles alone, which covers Whittier and about 24 other cities, there were 3,500 people experiencing homelessness. Again, just an astounding number. And then in Whittier, where we're standing today, 357 people experiencing homelessness. So this is, it's a crisis. The city and the county are really rallying, are working together to address this. And so I want to just take a minute and have everybody reflect on the numbers that we're seeing in Los Angeles County, and that more work really needs to be done, but there is some amazing work that's happening in our community. So I work really closely with Whittier First Day, and I just want to single out the amazing outreach team that is in the room. And if you could wave as I just point you out, because this is the team that's on the streets responding to community calls, going out and talking to people when they're in front of businesses, or when they're behind buildings, they're in alleys, and trying to get them to engage in services. So I want to say Pat and Maria and TK and Scott. So I've had the privilege to work with Whittier First Day as part of the Gateway Connections program, which is one homeless program in the gateway cities. It started back in 2012. It's funded by the county through generous support through Supervisor Kanabi's office and former Supervisor Molina's office. It comes to the Gateway Cities Council of Governments, and then they've partnered with PATH as the lead agency to administer their homeless initiative. And we have 4 amazing partners that cover 4 distinct geographic areas within the gateway cities. Since the gateway cities are 28 cities, Whittier is obviously in Whittier First Day's jurisdiction, and so they're providing services, outreach. The goals of the program are to provide outreach, to go out into the community, to talk to people, to get them into services, to provide case management, to get them document ready so that they actually can move into housing, and ultimately to get them off the streets and into their own permanent homes. Since the program started back in 2012, we've had some amazing successes. And I'm new to the program, so again, I want you to look at the people in the room from Whittier First Day and think these are the people who have really done this work. So since we started, over 18,000 unduplicated contacts in the 28 gateway cities, 18,000 unduplicated. That means 18,000 distinct individuals that we were able to engage with and offer services to. 12,000 actually received case management, so linkages to mental health. Oh gosh, I have only a little bit of time left.
You can have a little bit more.
Okay.
We're actually ahead of schedule somehow.
Okay, I'll take it. So, linked to mental health, linked to housing, to primary care, to substance abuse treatment, if that's what the person is interested in. And we've been able to help 1,036 individuals move into permanent homes since October 2012. It's an astounding number. Beyond that, we've had the goal in the gateway cities to really also bring permanent housing resources to this area. And we're fortunate enough right now, the Corporation for Supportive Housing has given Service Area 7, which is Southeast Los Angeles, a planning grant. PATH has gotten a planning grant from them to develop permanent supportive housing in the gateway cities. So we are looking right now to identify a site that would have anywhere from 30 to 60 affordable housing units for people who are formerly homeless. And we're really excited about that. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about coordinated entry, which is a countywide initiative. It's actually a federal initiative in line with guidelines from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, to have a single tool used to survey and assess every person experiencing homelessness vulnerability, and then identify what is the proper housing intervention for that individual, what services do they need, and how can we, as quickly as possible and efficiently as possible, link them to those services. So in Los Angeles County, this really took off in 2013, and the county implemented it by service provider area. So each of the 8 service provider areas were Service Provider Area 7, Southeast Los Angeles. There are actually 8 regions of Los Angeles where this was implemented. And because of the great work of the Gateway Connections program and the strong leadership through Whittier First Day and our other 3 partners, Helpline Youth Counseling, Our Place Housing Solutions, and the City of Long Beach, we were able to apply for and become the lead agency for coordinated entry in this area. So coordinated entry, I always describe it, and Andy used the eHarmony reference earlier, so I feel like I can say it's the Match.com of homeless services. It's basically getting a by name list of people experiencing homelessness, what their vulnerability is, how long have they been homeless, how often do they use the ER, what are their medical conditions, and then it matches them to the appropriate housing resource that's in a database so that people can be matched as quickly as possible. We've done some amazing work. We were funded last year, and again partnered with the same wonderful agencies. We were able to help 153 people in 1 year who were chronically homeless and the most vulnerable get off the streets and into permanent housing. And we are responsible for providing retention services to keep them housed. And we've had a 95% retention rate. So of those people who went in, they're still in housing. So I just want to talk about some really exciting things that are happening right now that are a result of the Gateway Connections program and the coordinated entry system in our area. And then I'll be done. Okay. 1 minute, yes.
Like reminder.
So we're working with local clinics and hospitals and the Department of Mental Health to really provide a streamlined and coordinated care to people experiencing homelessness in this area. We're working to get so that actually hospitals are doing assessments, clinics are doing assessments, and they're putting people into the coordinated entry system so that they can be matched to housing. Because it's not just homeless service providers who see homeless, who interact with or engage with people experiencing homelessness. It's all of us, right? We also are working with the Downey Courthouse. The chiefs mentioned earlier that there's this revolving door of people going, homeless-related infractions or tickets are given, and people just don't show up to court. It turns into a warrant. They go in and out of jail and the court system, and that's expensive and it's not effective. So we are now going to Downey Courthouse once a month, and we're doing assessments. We're getting those people into coordinated entry so that they can be matched to housing, and we're really excited about that effort. We're also working toward having a by name list of all the people experiencing homelessness in our area. So we know when a community member calls and says, John is in front of Starbucks again and we want to get him into housing, we can say, oh, well, he's connected to Whittier First Day and his case manager is Scott, and we'll contact Scott and get him connected. So, we're really moving toward really streamlined, better collaboration. We just got 38 Section 8 vouchers for chronically homeless people with disabilities. And so we're really excited to be able to help 38 people actually move into their own homes. And those are specifically for people experiencing homelessness in the Southeast Los Angeles area, those 38 vouchers. We're also doing targeted coordinated outreach, which is a new thing too. We're going out with law enforcement. We're going out with the Sheriff's Department. We're going out with the amazing team from Department of Mental Health, SB 82 under George Alves. And we're going into the riverbeds, and actually talking to people and getting them connected to services where they are.
Right here, I want you guys to understand that PATH really is the tip of the spear in terms of homelessness here in town. If you encounter homelessness, there's just numbers. It's 24/7 staffed with someone that can get referrals. Not 24/7. Close. But
we take calls 24/7, but we'll get back to you within 72 business hours. That's the sort of generous estimate, but we are really good at responding to calls sooner than 7.
Here's the number. It's 562-373-5264. And if you have homeless around your church, if you have homeless around your schools or your neighborhood, and you don't know where to go, where to refer them to, where to send them, call this number, this hotline, and PATH will get them connected to exactly where they need to be. So thank you. Oh, one more?
One last thing. If you want to get more involved, obviously this is a room of people who are really passionate about this issue, and it's really touching to see. Get involved by contacting me. I have also a stack of cards that I can give you. Come out and do the homeless count with us. Actually go out and see, what is the scope of the issue. That's happening in January, and you can contact me and I'll give you all the information. We also have a SPA 7 coalition that's actually chaired by Vanessa Sedano. She's going to be talking in a little bit. Come to the coalition meeting. Get involved that way. Meet the other service providers in the area. And that's the second Thursday of the month, and I'm sure Vanessa can provide more details on that. Reach out, grab the hotline number. If you see someone experiencing homelessness, you don't need to feel like there's nothing that you can do. You can call our hotline, you can get us out there. We want to help that person. So with that, thank you so much. I'm sorry it got so long.
No, that's good. Thank you. PATH is doing some really great things, so we have to move on to